What's up? I'm going to be going over what controllers I've used with my Switch so far. I'm going to let you know what each is good for and what features they have. First, we're going to be going over the 8BitDo SN30 Pro. This one's the SNES version. They started to stop making them with this part right here that makes it look like an SNES controller. So I decided to pick it up. So it actually has a really good D-pad, so this is best for like 2D games, but it also has these little joysticks, so you can use it with 3D games. It's just a little harder than a normal controller because there's not a grip down at the bottom. The button themselves are really good. Has a rechargeable battery, uses USB-C. When you do get these, you actually have to connect them to a computer to update them first before they can be used with the Switch. So that's a slight downside, but it was really easy to do. Um, so it does have rumble, has gyro, the rechargeable battery. The only thing it really doesn't have is amiibo support, and it can't wake the Switch up. So you have to turn the Switch on first before you're able to use this controller. Next up is the Power A Pro controller. This one is the Link Edition. So this one I think is best for shooters, fighters, 3D games. It's pretty good for 2D games. The D-pad isn't bad. The reason I think it's the best for shooters is the sticks feel pretty good. And it has these programmable buttons on the back that you can make them, I think, any button on the controller. So it just makes it good so you can aim and like jump and stuff at the same time while you're using it. So this one doesn't have any rumble, doesn't support amiibo, and actually doesn't have rechargeable batteries. It uses double A's. It does last up to like 30 hours, so it's actually pretty good. Plus, they have a whole bunch of really cool designs to choose from. Like I said, this one's the Link one. They have Mario, they have Zelda, they have Samus, they have all kinds of them, and they're only $50, so they're pretty good. Now we have just the regular Pro controller for the Switch. It's a bit of a more expensive option, but I think this one's just good for like single player games. It does have all the functions you need. It has HD rumble, amiibo support, the gyro, has a rechargeable battery, has a really long battery life. It's USB-C. The only thing is the D-pad isn't the best, and there's no programmable buttons on it anywhere. But besides for that, it's a really solid controller. Yeah, like I said, it's best for single player games, casual multiplayer. Now we're going to go over the Pokeball Plus. This one doesn't really have a whole lot of features, so you can only use it with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because it only really has 2 buttons and a joystick. You can use it with Pokemon Go, and it helps you catch Pokemon, and you can put a Pokemon from your game in here, and it'll level it up. It just gives it experience. You use a little strap here to hold it in your hand, and then it's got a button on top, and you click in the thumbstick. It does have rumble and motion controls to use with the Let's Go games. It actually lights up whenever you catch Pokemon. Now we have the GameCube Joy-Con. These ones, they're really good for Smash and handheld mode. Just has the GameCube layout on the one Joy-Con, and I think an easier to use thumbstick than the regular Joy-Con. They do have the motion. They have some pretty strong rumble. Yeah, I also would like to use these if I'm honestly just too lazy to bring a GameCube controller or don't have room. And I'll use them with this little grip I 3D printed. And it just makes like a pseudo GameCube controller. If you wanted to check out these even more, I do have a video unboxing the GameCube controllers, and I have a video on all the Joy-Con grips that I have used. I'll leave a card for those videos in case you want to check them out. Now we have my modded D-pad Joy-Con. I really wanted a Joy-Con with a D-pad on them, and I saw these and they just had a really cool color, so I decided to try and mod my Joy-Cons. It worked out pretty well. I did the first one pretty easy. On the second one, I did almost break it, so be careful if you do mod it when you're messing with the triggers, because that's what I almost broke. I was just going too fast. Besides for that, it's not super hard to mod them. This D-pad, it does feel pretty nice. You can kind of push in the middle and push all the buttons, which kind of sucks, but it feels pretty nice. Feels a lot like the 3DS's D-pad. I use these when I'm playing in handheld mode. Played through Celeste basically with just these alone, and it worked pretty well. Now I have the Power A GameCube controller. It's just a Pro controller shaped like a GameCube controller. So I really like this for when I'm just playing casual Smash, like either online or with friends. The buttons are fine. The sticks is where I really have the biggest problem with them, is they're actually not very grippy. The gray one is okay, but the C stick is just terrible. It's so hard to flick for me compared to a regular GameCube controller. Like I said, for casual, it's fine. It does have motion controls. There's no rumble. And just like the other Power A controller, it uses double A's to power it, so it doesn't have a rechargeable battery. Again, it does last a really long time, somewhere like 30 hours. And you can use it with any game that there is, because it has all the functions. The only other problem I have with it is playing Smash. When you get a little too intense and you click in the thumbsticks, it can mess you up just a little bit. But besides for that, it's a pretty good controller. Next, I have the regular GameCube controller. This one is the Smash version from the Wii U, and it is just, in my opinion, the best for competitive Smash. They're very grippy sticks, so you don't lose. It has the analog triggers, and the buttons just feel great. It is wired, so that's something, and you do need the adapter to use this with the Switch. So that is another factor. You have to find an adapter and a GameCube controller, and it takes up 2 USB ports if you want rumble. But besides for that, this is my main choice when I'm playing Smash. And then up last, and probably least, is the original Joy-Cons. Really the only thing I use these for is when I'm playing Tetris, because it's nice to have separate buttons, and some of the other D-pads on other controllers just aren't the great. Like the Pro controller is not the best. This just works better when you're playing Tetris, so you don't miss input. The only other time I use these is if I need them for multiplayer. You can use the single Joy-Con. Besides for that, these don't really get a whole lot of use. So overall, that was my favorite controllers that I've used for my Switch. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.